Hello, welcome to the Alone Show. I'm your host, John Alone. In this episode, no regulars, because reasons as always. As for our guest, he's from a place for legal reasons I shall not name. He is... Wow, that's a lot of stuff to go through. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Kyle Smith.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, my name is Kyle Smith. Yeah, and I'm in Canada, and it's finally snowing today. It's crazy.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
I've got news reports that snow is coming my way too, although it's not going to be as great as somewhere in Scotland, because they get a lot of the snow.
fair enough. Is that where you're out of? Scotland?
Oh no, I'm from Manchester.
Oh, fair.
So, how's life?
Life is fantastic. It's going pretty good. Yeah, nothing really to complain about. So I'm having a good time.
But is there anything you're working on or working up to recently?
The thing that I've been focusing on for the last year is developing a practice of mine that I call Neuro-Linguistic Somatic Experience, NLSE. And that has been a tool that I've been using and a practice I've been using to help folks. It's a practice to be used as a mindset gym for mental fitness. So it's been helping people right in the noggin. So it's good.
Wow, impressive. So, what inspired you to work on that, to take and go down this path that you're on right now?
Uh, the core, the core thing is that I like to say that my problem turned into my passion. So where I was before, and in 2016 was a really big pivot year where I went from actually I made the decision to make some changes because I did not like who I was at that point in time. I didn't like the way I was thinking. I didn't like what I was doing and how I was conducting life. I didn't like my relationship with myself internally. I didn't, and that did not help with my relationships externally. And I wanted to solve my problems. And so I went along a couple different routes to see what could work. And what I happened upon was a combination of breath work and story work. Breath work I've been doing for years, so it's a integrated practice into my day, just for chilling out or upregulating. Or I'll do a breath work before a podcast episode to like chillax and tune my vibes so I can be of present and here. And so over that time, when I was making these adjustments and changes, uh, I found when I was working with a client beforehand, because before this I was a personal trainer for 13 years, there was a miscommun there was an issue with communication. So I was trying to pull him up where I thought he could be, rather than meeting him where he was. And after that, I thought, because we parted ways, we were like solid coach and client. It just wasn't the right coach and client fit at that time. And when we parted ways, I thought to myself, is it what I'm doing? Because I was doing fitness and nutrition predominantly. And I thought it was the practice. Then I had a client that came right afterwards and freaking crushed it. Absolutely crushed it. So it wasn't the practice. So I figured, well, it's me. So what part of communication, how can I actually coach people properly and understand where to meet them and how to get them where, or not even how to get them, how to encourage them to get them where they want to go. And then I just kept going north. I went from the body and I went up to the mind. And it's through our words, stories, and breath that we that inspires our behaviors. And so then I got into story work, and then after story work, I just started practicing it and then developing it, and now I get to speak about it.
Very great. Are there any jobs or opportunities you haven't done yet that you would like to do someday?
Yeah. Okay. I have a couple. I have one. I have a couple. I have one that's on theme with where I want with what I'm doing, and then I have another one that's off theme. It would be my like side like when I crush it in this area, I want to do this thing. So the thing that I want to do with this practice is be able to integrate it into other areas for helping people. So if it could be hospice care, it could be addictions, it could be traumas, it could be anything along those lines where I want to be able to be involved in helping people solve their problems so that they can help other people solve problems too. And that just expands big, big, big. So I want to have this into turn this into a very large or a very effective, and by the effectiveness, it'll be a prosperous consulting company. On the side part, what I would like to do that I have not done yet, that I still could possibly do, because in Canada, cannabis is legalized everywhere. Marijuana, wacky tobacco, whatever name you like to prefer. And I want to. I think having a coffee shop would be really cool. So it's from in Amsterdam, coffee shops, cannabis, cafes, coffee. Big difference there. So I want to open up a restaurant that has a coffee shop in the front, and then it opens up into a speakeasy where it has both menus for edible and, or not edible, let's say, what's the actual word? Where cannabis is infused with the food, infusion. There we go. So there'd be a menu where it'd be an infused menu with a drinks menu that has infusions, and then also on the other end, it would have not, and it would be pretty freaking cool. I think that'd be sharp. That'd be one thing that's on my bucket list for sure.
Fabulous. And if there is any piece of advice that you would like to give to the listeners right now, what advice would that be?
Any context specific or just out there out in the open?
Just out there in the open.
Okay. Let's see. An advice without context can be anything. Advice. The best advice that I can come up with that's like on the fly, there's two that pop up. One of them is to listen to your own advice because people know how to do the things to get to where they want to go. And there's a resistance to doing those things. So we can figure out how to alleviate the resistance and do the things to make it easier. And so no matter what, we have the information that's behind us. We don't need to seek out more answers as often as I find we do. And simple action is going to be the thing that's going to make any progress in any realm that you want. And then my personal one that is a mantra to myself that I very much keep going back to is to keep up the kindness. And when I say keep up the kindness is not an emotion. It is not a feeling. It is something that we partake in. It's something that's practice. Kindness is something that is recognizable when we see it. And when we keep up the kindness, we're able to, well, increase the overall feel goods of ourselves because we're being more kind to ourselves. And then as we're kinder to ourselves, we're going to be kinder to the world around us. And that world is going to reciprocate that kindness. So keep up the kindness.
Nice. I definitely agree with that. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
I'll actually say that I'm a nomad at heart. So I view the whole world as my home. Something that my lady and I want to do is camper vanning. We want to have a camper van go through all North America and Central America, and we also want to do some camper vanning in Europe once we're proficient at that. So there's not one place that I'd want to live. There's many places that I'd want to go to and experience and learn from. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. If you could have an exotic pet, what kind of companion would you like to have?
Ooh, that's a cool question. You know what? I would go with, okay, not quite exotic. However, it comes from a cool inspiration. My great grandfather on my mom's side would always have a crow, like a pet crow. And the crow would be able to go and pick stuff up and bring it to him and stuff like that. And I always thought that was pretty neat. So having a crow, because crows are also one of the most intelligent birds on the planet. If I were to go with another pet, I would go with bird related as well. It would be a falcon. I think that'd be really cool. Get to see more. Yeah, that'd be cool. And then I'm not sure if I'd want a wolf because that'd be freaking gnarly. But damn, that'd be super cool. You know what? Yeah, that'd be cool. If it was not going to bite my head off, absolutely, I'll have a wolf.
Yes, indeed. Which pizza topping do you most relate to?
The pizza topping I most relate to. Pizza topping I most relate to. You know what? That's actually a tough question. I've never thought of that in my life. Okay, let's think this one. I would go with, you know what? It's I would actually go with pineapple. Yeah, I go with
Oh,
pineapple. Yeah, that's a weird one, hey?
yeah, it
Uh
is.
I would go with pineapple because I'm not like I'm not that I'm not a super fan for Hawaiian. I'm more of a meat lovers kind of fellow. So I was interested. It's like, huh. I would go with pineapple because it balances out the saltiness of the pizza.
Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to think about it to get there, but we got there.
Yes, you did. I can't argue with that. Yes. What should they teach in high school, but they don't?
How to think about your thinking rather than being taught what to think. That one I
Yeah.
thought of. Yeah. When we get the opportunity to think about our thinking, then we get to see what stories are our stories and other people's stories. And when we remove other people's stories, then we remove other people's expectations. We only live up to our own at that point. And when we think about our thinking, we can filter through our thoughts and rebuttal them and think, is that actually accurate? Because many folks will adopt their thoughts as indicators of who they are, and that's not accurate. Thoughts just come up, and then we can control those thoughts and filter through them. So when we get the opportunity to learn how to think about our thinking, we gain what I call an objective perspective of our subjective existence. So we zoom out from just ourselves, and we get to really get to flourish when we get to learn how to use our mind for use the superpower of our consciousness and mind in order to assist us rather than harm us.
Yes. So true. Have you heard of a drink called banana friche?
No, what's in it?
Well, it's a banana flavored milkshake slash smoothie that has
Hmm.
all the tingly sensations in the world.
Oh yeah, all the tingly sensations.
It does, yes.
Okay. Do you like it?
I wouldn't know, I never tried it.
Me neither. I've never tried one either.
Well, yeah,
Sounds pretty tasty. If it
it
has all
does.
the tingly sensations, do you think it's carbonated or fermented?
Good question. That never came to mind until now. I think it could be carbonated.
Fair. Because if there's banana, so it's more of a smoothie, carbonated, fermentation. It could be fermentation if left out long enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy.
it is, yes.
So what else
What?
is in it? There was banana.
Well, there's banana, some herbs perhaps,
Oh yeah,
because,
fair enough.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right.
yeah, very nice. What could you give a 40-minute presentation on without any preparation?
How our words, stories, and breath impact our behavior in the present, and how to remove soft talk from our language to support solid talk so that we remove ambiguity and indecision and we speak with clarity and certainty. That was probably the smoothest I ever popped that line out. You put me on the spot. I'm like, if I had to do it in 14 minutes, what the hell am I going on my TEDx talk for? That's what it
Yes,
would be. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. What is your favorite plant or flower?
Favorite plant or flower? Okay, this is gonna be funny too because you can't see on the screen. Over on the side, I have my cannabis plant. So I would say my favorite flower would probably be cannabis. That actually makes the most sense. If I were to go with a like pretty flower, you know what, dude? There's a lot of really nice flowers out there. What's yours? Do you have one?
Well, I don't have a particular favorite plant or flower, but I do have a broad category. Like, there's the floral kind of flowers that you see in temperate climates,
Right.
and then there's a couple of cactuses that we'd see in much harsher climates that I also like. Otherwise, I just like vegetation in general.
It's good for you.
Yes. What would you do if someone deployed 10,000 spiders, but suddenly made the world a fly-free zone?
Say that question again. I can
Okay,
visualize it.
alright. What would you do
Hmm.
if someone
Hmm.
deployed 10,000 spiders, but suddenly it made the world a fly-free zone?
I don't know, man. It depends on the spot. If it's 10,000 spiders, it'd be. Well, I don't think they'd be going after people even if there's not flies. I also think that spiders have a solid chunk of predators that would be freaking feasting on those spiders. And they would be like shooting fish in a barrel if 10,000 of them are done at once. So you know what? I would probably find whatever the because I don't know if there would be a negative consequence to releasing 10,000 spiders, but there probably would be because then it would be just like any other invitation of a species into an environment. So you know what? If there was harm to it, I would definitely go with whatever the prominent spider predators are, and then I would let them do their thing, and whatever spiders survive will survive. And the flies, well, I guess we have less flies on our food.
Yeah, good point. Would you rather speak all languages or talk to animals?
Speak all languages.
Yeah, I'd say
Yep.
the same.
Yeah, man. I think it'd be like I think one skill set that's super impressive is polyglots, where they learn more than five languages. It's like seven languages. Polyglot. I think that'd be something like that. And that's crazy. I think that you can go anywhere at any point in time and just step off the plane or step off the boat, step out of the car, and then you're just speaking right there. Dude, imagine how much easier getting from point A to point B in another country would be if that was the case. It would be so simple.
Yes, so convenient. Would you rather not be able to open closed doors or not be able to close open doors?
I'm just gonna go with keeping the doors open. That would make the most sense.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
true.
That would also mean that there would be no closed doors. So I can use that to my advantage.
Yeah,
Not in a
absolutely.
malicious way. I mean, like, let's see. How would I use that in a benevolent way? Well, I wouldn't have to hold the door open for anyone. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'd probably go into a couple cool get togethers or like community sessions, get togethers. That'd be pretty sweet. Probably still need a
yeah,
ticket at the entrance, but the door's open. Whatever.
yeah, absolutely. If you had a song for every time you entered the room, what song would that be?
Sabotage by the Beastie Boys.
Huh?
That one would be
Cool.
one go to. Another one that I would go to would be there's Sabotage. Another one would be Little Black Submarines by the Black Keys. Another one would be Red Right Hand, the theme song from Peaky Blinders. Those three. You know what? If it was a walkout song for a UFC fight, and if I was like getting ready to rumble, it would be I Stand Alone by Godsmack. Yeah, there we go.
Fabulous. If you were hosting a dinner party and you can invite five guests who are either dead or alive, who would you invite?
Ooh, that's a cool one. Dinner guests, either dead or alive. Dinner guests, dead or alive. Okay, let's go with dead. Dead, I would go with Napoleon Hill. That'd be an interesting conversation. I would, Okay, I might go with more than five. We'll see. So Napoleon Hill. I'm just gonna spitfire a bunch of names. Napoleon Hill, Alexander the Great, Jesus. Why not? It'd be cool. Buddha, Gandhi, George Washington, Miyamoto Musashi. What was another one there? It just popped up. So that would be my dead list. I have seven for my dead list.
Okay,
Oh, Bob
sounds good.
Marley. Bob Marley too. I'd like to chat with him. He'd be cool.
Yeah, that's a pretty good lineup.
Yeah, it's an interesting flow, hey?
It does, yes. Are you more of an early bird or a night owl?
I get up early enough that it could still be considered a night owl. Yeah, sometimes I'll get up. So I'll usually get up pretty early. I don't. Sleeping in for me is about 7 a.m. And then on average, my time to wake up is around 4:30 to 5:30. And recently, just because I've been working on stuff, I've been waking up earlier and just getting to work. So that's been
Yeah,
3:30. And I'll go for a nap a little bit and get back to it.
yeah, I'm an early bird as well.
Nice. It makes so
Yes.
much more time to enjoy the rest of the day at the end.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I
Yeah.
want to wake up early, is if I can, hopefully.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yes. If you could have a never-ending candle that smelt like anything you wanted, what fragrance would you want it to be?
Frankincense, coriander. No, not coriander. Yeah, no, no, allspice. Frankincense, allspice. And I'd want to toss in mint in there too. However, I don't know how that would smell, but those would be the three main combinations of things that I'd want.
Nice. Very good. What is your favorite type of day?
Any day that I get to open my eyes in the morning.
Yeah, good point. Where was the furthest you traveled to from where you're originally from?
I'm in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and the furthest I've traveled would be to the Netherlands. And I gone through Scotland, Ireland, went to the Netherlands, actually, and then going south, I've gone along the Gulf of Mexico. So I guess, yeah, Europe would definitely be further away than that because that's just the bottom of the states. Yep. So Europe, Netherlands, and the Autobahn.
Yes, the Autobahn.
Hmm.
The thrill. Yoink.
Yeah.
Yes. What's something you do differently than most other people?
I simplify things. That's what I would say is so when I talk to folks, sometimes I'll say something or a sequence of things and they'll say that's simplifying something complicated. However, when I see it, I think the opposite opinion where someone's overcomplicating something simple. And so I would say that I have a first principles thinking where I just aim to go to the source and try to aim to go to the root. So then we understand first principles, then we know second consequence thinking, then it goes into third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And so I like to simplify things to its common denominator or core denominator and be able to integrate different topics together in a simple way.
Fair enough, yeah. I feel like that as well. Like, when people trying to find something, I say something that everyone would say, yeah, yeah, that's exactly what I want to say. I just
Mm-hmm.
couldn't find the words for it. And yeah, yes,
Absolutely.
yeah. Would you rather never age physically or never age mentally?
Never age physically. Yeah. Because I'm all good mentally. Like, I wouldn't, there's not much, because I think that because I'm putting my sciencey brain on, when I believe that, well, I think that because our brain and our thoughts are not as time bound as our body is, we can still develop the structure of the brain just by thinking. So, in order to have a lifelong brain, is simply to use the body to do things in order to stimulate the parts of the brain. And so I would want to do things for as long as possible. So I would go with the body and then I would maintain the mind.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
How about you? What would you do?
Well, I'd rather never age mentally. Because, like you said, on the mental side, I'm good physically. And even over time, my physical condition does start to decline. I'm always in the habit of pacing around and usually go out for walks, very, very long walks, surprisingly.
Awesome.
And yeah, and
Likewise.
yes, likewise, in terms of around my city, I've gone as far as 5 miles in one day,
Hmm.
maybe more. But
Yeah,
yeah, I feel like I'm physically good no matter what, so I'd say I'd never age mentally.
fair enough. I guess what would aging mentally look like? Would that
Hmm.
be because I don't think that, yeah, what do you think that looks like?
Well, I think in terms of mentally aging, I think you may not be, you may not have the sharpest focus at times, and
Mm-hmm.
there comes at times you might see something that isn't there. So
Fair.
it's not like hallucinations, but of course, your mental capacity does see something that may or may not be there, or maybe you do see something, but it is interpreted as something else. So it's all about
Mm,
perspective and perception.
totally. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's cool. I see that. Because I was thinking, actually, yeah, yeah, I like that. Yeah. Because there could be the part where the deterioration of the brain gets to a point where you're just seeing trippy shit.
Yeah, so true.
Fair. Fair. Good answer.
Yes. If you had to lose one of your senses, which which would you choose to lose?
If I had to lose one of my senses, which one? That's a tough one. There's a part of me that's the out of all the options, realistically, I wouldn't want to pick any. Out of all the options, for some reason, it's just coming to me. I'm just going with the flow of it. Similar to the pineapple. For some reason, it'd be maybe my sight, my eyes. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. I don't know why. Why would that be? I think it's because my other senses have like a lot of utility to them too. I guess sense of touch or sense of sensation. That'd be an interesting one. I don't know. I
Yes,
wouldn't want to lose smell. I wouldn't want to lose taste. I wouldn't want to lose hearing. That's a tough one. Do you got an answer for that one?
yes. I'd say I would get rid of my sense of smell, because
Okay.
if I don't smell anything, I won't be able to be impacted negatively if I ever go through a dumpster or
Yeah,
smell something
yeah,
that's absolutely unbearable.
yeah, fair. You know what? Smell is a good one because that one has, it's like a low risk one too. You just wouldn't be able to taste any of the food. That's okay.
Yeah, and also, if you ever get a blocked nose, you don't have to go through the problems of that because you don't have to smell much to begin with.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. A double whammy.
Exactly. And that is all we have for this episode. It's great having you on, Kyle, talking about your works as a podcaster and working in terms of mental fitness and everything else. It's been fabulous.
Thank you. Awesome questions.
You're welcome. And until next time, stay tuned for more.